I think I've done one theory video before, and I titled the video "Why Bangalore is My Least Favorite Character in Apex Legends." Well, it's kind of interesting because now actually I don't main Bangalore, but I play Bangalore a lot more. So that theory, I guess, in turn was wrong. And Apex has actually made it since I made that video. I think I made that video back when Season 2 or 3 was out. And the reason why I dislike Bangalore is because her footsteps were so loud. And her footsteps are still loud, but now almost every single legend has their own discernible footsteps that you can hear and you can tell when they're crouching or whatnot. So that's that. But today I have a little bit of a different video. I'm doing a theory today, and I have my theory work here. All of the facts I'm going to share with you are legitimate facts. You can Google them. Obviously, it's a theory, so the final result is a little bit different, but if you've just not been keeping up with the video game world lately, you may not have heard of a very controversial title that just came out about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's called The Last of Us Part 2, or it might be just The Last of Us 2. But basically, what this game is it's a game filled with sorrow, it's filled with happiness and joy at times, but The Last of Us, the original game, was very infamous for being a heartfelt, kind of heart-wrenching story, and so I'm not gonna spoil anything for you, but basically, in the final fight of The Last of Us 2, I was watching PewDiePie play through it, and I realized something in the final fight sequence, which I would not advise going and watching the final fight sequence to form this theory. I literally only watched the final fight sequence once because it is kind of gross, so I didn't really want to continue watching it. But I got everything I needed from watching through about a 2 second span 3 times. And I thought, how did Abby just do that? And for those of you who don't know who Abby is, Abby, you play as her, and she's the main antagonist, but during this final fight scene, you play as Ellie, the other person. And there's no way to really say this without getting demonetized, so I guess I'll just go ahead and say it. Abby bites off 2 of Ellie's fingers. And I saw that, and I was like, could that be possible? Could that be done to where you could, a human being, could bite off another human being's 2 fingers? It's the pinky and the ring finger that Ellie loses in the game. So, without further ado, let's get into this theory. So I started off and I said, okay, so what's the maximum human bite force? The literal absolute max. This is the strongest person, incredibly strong jawbone, very well-toned mouth muscles. This has got to be like a top peak condition eater. This has got to be like a Joey Chestnut situation. For those of you who don't know who Joey Chestnut is, he holds the 5-time world record for eating the most hot dogs on July 4th. The absolute maximum human bite force is 162 pounds per square inch. And for those of y'all who are thinking, oh, what, that is very, very strong. It's really not, considering that some animals have a bite force of close to 1,000. What happens, I'm not going to play for the clip for you. I know for a fact I'll get demonetized for multiple reasons, for the music in the clip and probably for the gore in the clip. But basically, what happens is they're fighting and Abby like bites down on Ellie's 2 fingers and then pulls, and the 2 fingers come off completely. Comes off clean, no bones, anything like that. And I probably should have said at the start, if you don't like slightly more graphic descriptions of human body parts, skeletons, fingers coming off, I would click off the video. So, at the time of the fight, these are some reasons why. My main question is, could Abby actually, physically, bite off 2 of Ellie's fingers? What's my short answer to it? No, but the reason why is I have to dig a little bit deeper. So at the time of the final fight, Abby is very weak, and actually, so is Ellie. So that would take away from a little bit of Ellie's finger, possibly bone integrity, but it probably wouldn't. So kind of take Ellie out of the picture. She's not gonna, there's no additional things to be said there. But Abby has lost tons of muscle. You can see that the muscles in her face are weak, and that just all of her muscles at the time are weak. She hasn't eaten in a while from when this happens, and her jawbone, obviously, you can see some of her bones closely, so she hasn't eaten well. And that's the main factor why she couldn't do it. She could potentially bite Ellie's fingers off, but she would break her jawbone and probably break multiple of her teeth out. The human tooth isn't necessarily that strong. But with that being said, it would be difficult to bite off one, let alone 2 fingers, and she wouldn't have enough bite force at the time since her jawbone is weak and she hasn't eaten in a while, and her mouth muscles probably aren't that strong at the moment. Even with Abby pulling on the fingers, which basically she bites down and then pulls, you still wouldn't be able to get it because she wouldn't have enough bite force to bite down enough to fracture the bone. Because to technically pull a human finger off, you would have to either just pull it right off, which I know Abby doesn't have the strength to do that with 1, let alone 2 fingers, but you would have to bite down all the way past the skin and fracture the bone on the muscle to be able to pull the finger off. So my final slightly extended conclusion is question, could Abby bite Ellie's fingers off? That's the main point of this video. And the conclusion is no, most likely. 1 finger, if it were just the pinky, it would be very, very slightly possible if she did it in just the right way. But another contributing factor why I don't think she could do it is because she doesn't use her molars. In the clip, you can see her using approximately 1 to 2 of her molars. I think you have, I didn't research all of the teeth stuff, but I believe you have like 4 molars and then your incisors, which your incisors, yes, they're sharp, they would be best for penetrating skin, but to at all fracture the bone, you would have to use your molars. Abby does not use the back of her teeth where she would be strongest enough to actually bite through the fingers. So Abby's weak at the time, obviously. That's my main reason why. We see Abby after the fight. Her jawbone isn't broken, which it would be if this was real life and if that were real, what was happening in the game. She wouldn't be able, because the ring finger bone, I don't think the bone is bigger necessarily, but since the muscle is so much more, she'd have to bite through a lot more of the ring finger, and she'd probably have to bite into the bone of the ring finger slightly to be able to even touch the bone on the pinky finger. And then to pull and successfully pull it, she doesn't pull hard enough because she doesn't move her head wide enough. So that, I went onto YouTube to look that up and no results came up. I went on YouTube and searched, could Abby bite off Ellie's fingers in The Last of Us 2? And there were no results. So I figured, what the heck, let me go ahead and do a video on this quickly while no one else has. So thank y'all for watching. That's my theory as to if Abby actually could do that. And like I said, my final conclusion, just in case you were asleep during the first part of the videos, no, it would not be possible, simply because Abby did not have enough bite force at the time, and she would have to fracture rather deep into the bone to barely scrape the surface of the bone on the pinky finger. My name is Dr. Tim No, I'm just kidding, I'm not a doctor in any way, shape, or form. That's my theory, and again, it's all just a theory. A game theory! I'm sorry, I'm taking a lot of YouTubers' catchphrases at this point, but that's okay. I'm kidding, it's not. But it's all just a theory, a game theory. I'm pretty sure that's not copyrighted. Game theory, please don't sue me. Thank you very much for watching. Wait! Before you go, I'm aware, yes, the giveaway hasn't happened yet. The giveaway, at the time of this video going live, I'm not in an area where I can receive Wi-Fi. I can't get Wi-Fi, I can't get service where I'm going, so I can't really record. Goodbye.